Assalamu alaikum. Today I present the presentation of environmental chemistry. I'm Shansa Malik, roll number 1724. I'm the student of MSc Chemistry second semester evening in JC University, Faisalabad. Today the topic name of my presentation is environmental analysis and legislation. The word environmental analysis. The term environmental analysis is used to analyze the amount of pollutants from the atmosphere, and also we discussed about the technology which is used to analyze the amount of pollutants present in soil, water, land, and also find the toxic material present in all feeds. Legislation is important instrument to control the environmental hazards to health and has been formed in earliest days. For example, it is used to control the quality of water and sanitation in 19th century, but nowadays it is more developed. Like before centuries, it is not so too much well developed, but nowadays it is more developed, and we can find even a micro, nano, well developed result and well better result like past centuries. In brief discussions, legislation is taken as law and principles which is used for the analysis, and environmental analysis are the techniques which is used to be analyzed. Now come to the introduction. In the introduction, scientists should have knowledge about the identities, qualities of the pollutions, and also the quantities of the pollution, and they also have knowledge about the samples which they are taken from the analysis. If they have proper know about the analysis, about the pollutants and toxic materials and the samples, then they can get a proper result without wastage of time. Like if they know about their sample, they have proper identity and they know the quantities and about sample, so they can do experiment on the relative experiment. So they can do relative experiment and they can get proper result without wastage of time and only one trial. But some challenges are present, but when we compare it with the past centuries, the new techniques are developed, but challenges, problems still remain in the developing centuries or developing days, and utilizing techniques of the environmental chemical analysis. Okay, environmental chemical analysis can be subdivided into severe overlapping categories. These include analysis of water, wastewater, analysis of waste and solids, air and gases analysis, and analysis of biological material and xenobiotic substances. First of all, we discussed about the analysis of water, and in analysis of water we discussed analysis for water sample. For taking water sample, we should have to know about the physical properties of water. For the sampling, we should have an idea about the physical properties of water. If we have general know about the physical properties, then we can choose a better sample. The common physical properties of water is its odor, color, temperature, its pH and residues etc. Some of its properties are self-explaining, like as we take the example of solid, we can find the chemistry of water, that is this filterable or not, or if it is suspended or dissolved or volatile. Physical properties must be measured in water without sampling. In physical properties measured की जा सकती हैं without sampling. After water's now come on water sampling. Next topic is water sampling. In water sampling, they told that if we want correct data, then we should have correct sampling. No doubt, if we have correct sampling, then we can get our proper and correct accurate data. And if we don't have any idea about the sampling, then we can't get correction in our data. Sample correction must be corrected for chemical and biological analysis because sampling and preservations are different. Okay, for temperature detection must be done on water itself because the pH of water can change, like some gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, chlorine, hydrofluoric acid must be lost, and some gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide absorbed from the atmosphere. Therefore, pH, temperature and dissolved gases should be performed in field. In water sampling, oxidation reduction reaction cause errors. For example, soluble iron and manganese can be oxidized into insoluble iron and manganese when it is exposed from anaerobic to aerobic condition. If oxygen is provided to non-oxygen materials, then its effect on the result. Now, microbial activities can decrease the phenol and biological oxygen demand, and it also changes nitrite, nitrate and ammonia balance. Now, sample can be divided into two categories. These two categories are grab sample and composite sample. In grab sample, it is taken single time in single place, and therefore we should have to perform it very carefully, and we should have to know about proper idea of our experiment and analyte which should be analyzed. Composite sample collected from many places and many times. Many grab samples give same result as composite samples. Then after water sampling, solid phase extractors is our next topic. In solid phase extraction, water analysis increase from solid phase extraction. Three categories of devices are available on the basis of size and physical configuration. First of all, conventional solid phase extractors. In conventional solid phase extractors, it is used for solid phase extraction in a column. In this purpose, activated carbon is used for, and polymers also used to remove the pesticides from water. 85% recovery has been reported from it. Second one is solid phase micro extraction chromatography. It is used for solid extraction. Like micro extraction, So it means small diameter devices is used for this purpose. Therefore, sample is directly placed on walls of the extractors. The third one is disc. Disc is used. It is composed of gas substance which is bind with and remove analyte from water when the water is filtered through them. For example, it is used for the removal of the concentrated radionucleosides like TC99 and CS139 etc. Okay. After this, we discussed about water sample preservation. It is most important to prevent our sample because if we don't prevent our sample, then we cannot find the proper result which we want to get. Now, after sampling, it is most important to prevent the sample. For preservation of sampling, the following table have great effect. Preservations or techniques used, effect on sample, type of samples for which method is employed. Nucleic acid technique is used for sample containing metals and keeps matter in solution is effect on sample. Sulfuric acid is used for biodegradable materials such as organic carbon, oil or greases. Bactericide, formation of sulfate with volatile bases are the effect on sample. Sodium hydroxide is used for the sample containing organic acid or cyanides, and conversion of volatile acid into sodium salt is effect on sample. Chemical reactions. Winkel method used for analysis of dissolved oxygen and constituent fixation is effect on sample. After this, some other methods are used for prevention of our sample, like refrigerator. Refrigerator is a common method to prevent the sample. Sample should be placed on 4 degrees Celsius, but we should avoid freezing because due to the freezing the sample lost its physical properties. Precipitations are also formed and some gases are absorbed into the sample. Therefore, sample lost its identity and we cannot find the relative result. After refrigerator, acidification is also used to prevent metal sample. This method prevents them from making precipitations and also slows microbial activities. But now a question arises: how acidification method is used? First, filter the sample and then acid is added to determine the dissolved metal. This is the procedure of acidification. Then now come on sample holding time. How much time required for a sample to be held, or for how many sample holding time for metals are 6 months, and for sample which is used for measuring acidity, alkalinity and various other nitrogen and phosphorus is 24 hours, and sample for temperature pH is measured at the field. Okay. Analytical techniques for monitoring the pollution. Now come on analytical technique. By comparing back centuries, environmental pollution increased rapidly today due to the increasing industrialization and economic activities. Heavy metals come into the environment due to the burning of fossil fuels and the petroleum industry activities.